Hello my house, I'm Athina and I'm grateful that you're here with me today. Today we are going to look at messages from your higher self, and this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find this video there should be a message for you, and if not, maybe another time. So yeah, plain old messages from your higher self, nothing special in that. So let's hop on to how you can choose your group. You can choose your group based on the color of the dice, yellow, green and blue, the number 1, 2 or 3. You can also choose based on the timestamp that is in the description down below. Maybe you see a number that you're seeing often, your lucky number, your birth date, or any dates that are important to you. This could indicate maybe you already knew which group or groups to take because of the thumbnail, because you see there all the 3 different piles with the crystals on top. Maybe your intuition is so on point that you already were drawn towards a group. Or you can also choose based on clairaudient selection, that after I've showed you all the piles and the crystals, I will leave you for 1 minute to meditate upon the groups, the crystals, the dices, the numbers, the colors, whatever you want to. And after that 1 minute meditation, I will be playing a different tune on my guitar for those that are clairaudient to select based on that. Maybe you hear one tune is more resonating with you than the other, one sounds more calmer than the other, one is like really sticking out to you more than the other. You trust your intuition, you will choose the right group. And I will be playing the tune like this. First pile 1, 2 and 3, then I will repeat 1, 2 and 3, so you hear the tune twice, so that you are really able to choose based on that. And of course the timestamp of the clairaudient selection is also in the description down below, so that if you want to listen to it more than twice, you can go back and listen to it as many times as you want to. The same can be said for the meditation, so you can make the 1 minute meditation a 2 minute meditation or 3 minute meditation, whatever fits your shoe. You can do whatever you want. So let's get to know the piles. Pile number 1, you have the Mermaid Tarot. This is how the deck looks behind, and the artwork for those that like to choose based on the artwork. Oops. Yeah, your number 1 went to a 6. So maybe the number 1 or 6 are important, or 16 or 61. So you have the card of the 8 of Cups. Can you see it? Yes, you can. And your crystal is this ocean jasper. It fits really well with the Mermaid Tarot. Coincidences happen. So this is the ocean jasper. Pretty stone. So pile number 2, you have the Modern Witch Tarot. This is the back of the cards. Then the artwork, we have here the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Coins. If we translate the Münzen literally from German to English, it's a coin. Also fitting, we have this false gold, pyrite, literally. Looks like gold, but it's not, it's a pyrite. Let's put the shiny one here. Pile number 3, you have the Gentle Heart Tarot. This is how the card looks at the back, and the artwork is like this. We have the 10 of Cups, and your crystal is this aura amethyst. Now the amethyst was heated up in a certain way so that it has this aura rainbow shiny to it. I don't know if it captures on the camera. So let's put it here. So I'm going to leave you now for 1 minute so that you can meditate upon the cards and do whatever you need to do to choose based on your intuition. And I will be seeing you at your pies. See you later. Hi, pile number 1. You chose the Mermaid Tarot, the Ocean Jasper, the tune that you heard, and this dice. And this is going to be your reading about a message from your higher self. So, hope you're doing well. Let's shuffle the cards a little bit. No, I have not mentioned anything. Just a random jumper card. So enjoy the ASMR. A little shuffling ASMR. So, please, what message does the higher self of pile number 1 has for pile number 1? What message does the higher self of pile number 1 has for pile number 1? What message does the higher self? Let me count these cards. Okay, so we have an odd number, and I'm going to leave it at an odd number so that we have a center card, and you can barely see all the cards, but we're going to have to work with this because too many cards, and I want to have them in a straight line. So at the back of the deck we have Justice in reverse. I will talk about Justice in reverse if it comes up. So let's see, where's the center card? Fear. Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups talks about making a decision, about choosing which cup you want to take. But there is the thing that in certain cups you can see here, there are some things that you probably don't want to choose. There is some sort of illusion happening. Like, what about the illusion? Like the illusion of choosing a wrong cup. Like, there is no bad or good choice. There is just choice. And whatever you make out of that is what is going to happen. Like in some sort of, let's take an example. Like, I've decided to be a primary school teacher, and I went to college. And I went there for 1 year. I've studied what I needed to study. I passed some of the classes and some I did not, and I would have had to repeat them if I stayed there. But I've just seen that this was not for me. It was not meant for me to be there. I was not happy. I was not passionate about it. And it had nothing to do with only college stuff. Because you have, like, you go to college, but at the same time you have experiences, practical experiences, and so you are also going to stand in front of a class and put in the theory that you've learned into action. And I had no fun in putting theory into action. So even if I was standing in front of the class, I was not passionate about it. I was not happy about it. Yes, I could mask myself off so that the kids would not perceive me as a grumpy adult that is doing something against their own will. But I perceived this, and others around me perceived it too, that there was this fire lacking. So I decided to quit college and be here now where I am with no degree, no career, no nothing, but I'm still figuring out what I want to do. I'm going to try enter another type of college to study something else and see if this works out. But either way, it was not a bad decision that I made, and it's not like all the things that I've experienced in university or college was bad. It just was a different route that I needed to take to learn something, to learn more about myself, to see, hey, you get sick and tired of doing something that you don't love. So what do you love? So it made me think, hey, what is it that I love? What is it that I want to do? What am I passionate about it? And so that's how I started my YouTube channel. If I had not gone through that, I would not be here now. Would I? So for me, the Seven of Cups has this underlying message of whatever you choose, you cannot choose wrong. But if you decide to listen into your intuition and let your intuition guide you to make the decision, You will know what you need to leave behind to gain that spiritual knowledge, that emotion that you want, the wish fulfillment. Because after the Seven of Cups comes the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups talks about leaving things behind. And if I was not mistaken, you got the Eight of Cups as the artwork to choose your group. So that's funny. But I'm going to read also from the guidebook of this deck, because the artwork sometimes has also different meanings to the cards than other decks. So I just want to honor the maker of the deck in this way. Seven of Cups. By the way, it doesn't mean that every card has the same meanings as here. It's sometimes different. I would, if you start learning tarot cards, start with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the one that looks like this, and get a book that is based on what Rider-Waite said and what he wanted to be the meanings of the cards, because the correct meaning of the system differs from those that are coming now. Just so that you know. Seven of Cups. It is easy to allow yourself to get distracted by whatever shiny new thing just happens to roll on by. Even under the sea, treasures can be irresistible. In fact, just looking for new sparkly items can be a full-time job. It can take up so much time that you forget to focus on all the other things in your life, and before you know it, all you have in your life are vessels filled with lackluster, useless, discarded bits and pieces. Outright, distractions are part of everyday life. It is easy to allow them to take control and dictate the terms of your day. It takes strength and commitment, however, to turn away from them and keep your emotions and mind clear and focused. Allowing yourself to fill your days with what seems like busyness doesn't mean you are actually achieving anything, except maybe cluttering up your mental, emotional, and vibrational space. So for now, leave the shiny objects where you found them and leave the space for something you really wish to experience. Well, that is an interesting take on the Seven of Cups. Just out of curiosity, since I showed you the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, let me get the meaning. The meaning of the Seven of Cups from the Rider-Waite-Smith. This is a book called Holistic Tarot, an integrative approach to using tarot for, I think, healing. It's a PDF, free PDF. Let me see. No. The meanings are bear with me till I learn the correct meanings. I'm not professional, so I am learning, and I like to mix in the correct system with my intuition. So the keywords are temptation, superficiality, enticement, decoys. Number 7, wisdom, spirituality, turning point. 3 sevens. Okay. The Seven of Cups is about temptation, about desiring titillation of the physical senses and losing sight of the righteous spiritual path. It represents false thought. The seeker is at a crossroads, plagued by an inability to choose from many appealing options, but the appeal is superficial and they are but temptations. They are decoys that will lead the seeker astray from his or her true path. Thus, in fact, the card suggests that the seeker should not choose any of the options presented. The attractive hair is said to represent romance or lust. The covered figure glowing red is ominous, showing anger, resentment, or vengeance. The snake shows unrestrained ambition, pursuing goals for the wrong reasons. The castle and jewels represent material temptations, the laurel wrath, glory for the sake of glory, and the dragon as depicted in this card represents the rage, gluttony, pride, greed, envy, and sloth. Compare the Devil card from the Major Arcana tends to represent a more serious matter of temptation, a struggle with inner demons that could cause spiritual injury, whereas the Seven of Cups denotes a superficial, appealing prospect that the seeker is tempted to accept, but which will likely cause emotional injury. True clarity of vision is presently clouded, and the seeker is obstructed from seeing what he or she really wants. As a result of the tempting options, the options before the seeker as indicated by this card are superficial. For example, wealth, fame, and a word that I should not say on YouTube. The Seven of Cups is a card associated with wishful thinking, mostly of tempting mirages that are not long-lasting, substantive, or meaningful. The card may also indicate delusions of grandeur. The seeker's goals, ambitions, visions, or fantasies are misguided. The seeker must exercise great patience and self-control. Well, there you have it. So, basically, listening to your intuition, your spirit guides, or your higher self in this case, to let them guide you to where you should really go. Because you need to have a fresh set of mind, a clear head to make decisions, to be strategic with the Ace of Swords here at the beginning. So for you to be able to see the path that you should go, you need a clear mind. So you need to walk away from all the distractions and the things that you are tempted to do, so that you can start seeing things clearly for what they are. Also, with the Ten of Wands in reverse, you should let go of anything heavy that is not yours to carry. Lessen up the burden and find a priority. Because if you are represented here by the Emperor, because we also have here, we don't have any other cards indicating yourself, maybe the Lovers here, but the card that can indicate a person, in this case you, is the Emperor in reverse. And when the Emperor is in reverse, the energy of the Emperor is the sign of Aries. So Aries energy, but in its shadow phase. The characteristics of the Aries here, or here in this case the Emperor, are making the situation more difficult and not easy to resolve. Like, it's playing against what is happening around. So instead of finding a solution, as an example, instead of finding a solution, it's spiraling down all the possibilities of what could happen wrong, instead of searching for all the solution so that all the things that you think might happen wrong will not happen, so that it doesn't happen, so that you have, if this goes wrong, this is the solution. So it just spirals down and is not helpful at all to the situation. In this case, because I am an Aries myself, what can block the situation from working as it should be and delaying it? Aries are stubborn. Sometimes they think not enough before taking action, quick to take action, ill-tempered, hot-headed, what else? Loud. So it also, the good characteristics of the Emperor can mix into the not working out things in perfect. So let's see the Emperor in reverse in this deck. Reverse, you may be trying to shift your responsibilities onto someone else, thinking that you don't need to be an active participant in the creation of your goal or dream. You may want to reconsider that line of thinking. A leader that doesn't actually lead is weak, and a weak leader pulls all under their rule in harm's way. There may very well be small meaningless tasks that are better delegated to others, but when it comes to your creation, your empire, you must mold it with your own two hands. Otherwise, all you could be left with is the crumbled mess of what could have been. In a sense, you could see this as, let's say you want to make a YouTube channel, and your idea of what you want to do is a certain way, and you want to create those certain types of videos. But because you are so unsure and insecure, the comments that you get sometimes suggest things that you should do or that should be better. Of course, if you find, oh, this is a helpful suggestion, then you can take it. But sometimes the suggestion that they have, the vision that they have, don't align with what you want to do. So it's better to leave that out and create what you want and not what someone else wants. Because if that's like this, then the other person should do a video like they want it to be. That's their creation and not yours. So basically, you are creating an idea from someone else as they want it and not as how you wanted it. As an example, this can go even to writing books. Yeah, you want to write a romance fantasy book about mermaids. Let's take mermaids. You want to make a romance about mermaids. So instead of that, you are having humans. You are under the sea as a mermaid. The protagonist is a mermaid, and she meets this other mermaid man, and whatever you want the plot to be. But let's say you show this to someone and the person says, no. I think it would be more impactful if the second protagonist, the male lead, is not a mermaid, but something else, like a human or a demon, an angel, whatever other existence are there. And you have to rewrite the whole story because you took their idea to create the book, but it's not your book anymore. It's not what you have created. It's what the other person wanted to have. And so basically saying it's not your book anymore. It's based on your book, but with ideas from someone else. So, and somehow mermaid and angels, let's say, somehow don't mesh well if you make a book like this. So how would they even meet and stuff like this? I would understand mermaids and humans, as we all know the Little Mermaid story. But that would be then again a same concept but different story. So it is best for you to create what you want. Of course, you can take advices and from someone else, but stay focused on your prime idea, your core belief, the core of the book. So if they didn't like that it's a mermaid and a mermaid, maybe search for another publisher. Search for someone that lets you have the story as you want and not as someone else. You have the final say in this case. You have the final say, not someone else. It's you that decides, not someone else. So, and for reasons that I like to learn the meaning of the Rider-Waite-Smith, let's put this 2 in here and get the meaning of the Emperor in reverse for contrast. So the Emperor in reversed: passivity, overthrow, coup d'état. It is very crucial to the seeker life right now to be assertive, domineering, and wield authority. Put mind over heart. To solve the problem, the seeker must exercise more assertiveness, activate fire energies and traits to resolve the matter. Be proactive, not passive. The card reversed could also indicate the overthrow of authority or an authoritarian figure in the seeker's life. Could suggest someone who was patronizing to the seeker, and now there has been a coup d'état. The Emperor in reverse is about dominating the domineering. It rings with the idea of a new world order. There is also speculation that the Emperor is inspired in part by King Philip IV, I believe, of France, who reigned during the Crusades, and that key 3, the card 3, the Empress, is his queen, Jean I of Navarre. In light of King Philip IV's narrative in a tarot reading, the card in reverse could suggest strong prejudice that cause the seeker to reach unjust or inequitable rulings on others. There is a harshness and bias to the seeker's leadership. The seeker must learn to lead with more compassion and kindness and less severity. You apply the messages on how it works in your life. I'm just here delivering the messages in the most general way I can with the information that I have from the cards. But basically all the rest is something that you have to do. And then we also have here the 4 of Cups. So like, you are not happy with what you have here, with the 3 cups here, and being drowning. This guy has been drowning in alcohol. You don't have to be drowning in any substances. You could just be drowning in procrastination and distractions, as we have had in the 7 of Cups, like spending hours on YouTube, on Twitter, for known now as X, or Instagram, TikTok, instead of doing and listening to your intuition. You have been distracting yourself, not wanting to make a decision, wanting someone else to make the decision, and being passive as this Emperor. But you're not seeing that there is someone that wants to give what you desire. The mermaid has a cup that may make this person happy, but they are not seeing it because they are wallowing in their own either self-pity, in distractions, in complaining, in boredom. But this can find its end if you decide to turn those things around, to be more assertive, to be more compassionate towards you and others as well, to calm down, to Put all distractions on the side so that you have a clear mind. Because that phase will end with the world here. The world is the end of the major arcana suit. So this here shows me that this phase here has a clear end. And this is like a new beginning. So it could be that you are currently here in this phase figuring out the distractions, and you have the power in your hands to make that end, to learn from these experiences and gain knowledge from it so that you can start a new journey. So like you have learned all the lessons from all of the major arcana cards and ended here in the world, and you know, hey, just because it's the end of this, it doesn't mean it's the end of everything. It just means that this ended, but something new can begin. So then we have the Lovers here in reverse. Because this has a quite interesting imagery, because it's the mermaid looking at the mirror. So it's basically she looking at herself. That's why the meanings of this Lovers is a little bit different. What you see is what you get, or so you like to think. But is it really? Mirrors are deceptive. They don't show a true double. Instead, they reflect back to you something similar but slightly different. Whatever you see is from a different angle, flipped and shifted by a trick of the light. What you think you are seeing for yourself right now is not a true image. You're not really paying attention, you are refusing to see the difference. The skewed perspective of real picture. This is to your detriment, and all your relationships will pay the price for your lazy approach. Well, that was a slap in the face. But yeah, sometimes we don't see clearly the things that we want to see because we want to distract ourselves. We want to hold on to the illusion of something, afraid of getting hurt, or the illusion and the distortion of it is better than reality, and so we want to run away from reality. This is something that I do, and something that I am working on towards as well. To be in reality, you know, hey, I can make reality better. To take things in my hands and do it better, like with the Emperor that we have, being assertive. And we have here the Three of Wands. After making a decision on what passion you want to take, the Three of Wands is building towards it, waiting a little bit for the first rewards to come up, but there's the initial passion that came with the idea, then the decision that was meant to do, and now there is an action to take so that this creation can manifest. That's what the word was. That's the word I was searching for. Being guided to read the meaning from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Three of Wands. Here. Three of Wands means validation, productivity. Number 3, fruition, expansion, amplify. The Three of Wands denotes business and entrepreneurial success. That success comes after hard work or hardship, perhaps even after a period of waiting. The fruition the seeker will now enjoy is well deserved. The seeker will feel validated. Compare Two of Wands, which indicates art or science success. Art or science success. Moreover, the Two of Wands is about beginning one's steps to further great ambitions. The Three of Wands shows that some steps have already been taken, and now the seeker is waiting for what may come of those steps. Startup companies and entrepreneurs, or those actively working on developing their creations or innovations into commercial enterprises, will often pull the Three of Wands, especially if they are on the track to success. The Three of Wands is a positive omen for small businesses. The card could also indicate that aid, support, or reinforcement is coming to assist the seeker toward his or her venture goals. Compare the Three of Pentacles is another card with strong themes of validation. However, the Three of Pentacles is about receiving accolades from the peers and colleagues of one's profession or recognition from superiors. The Three of Wands is about validation through productivity, actual goods, product, sales, profit, and measurable accomplishment. However, note that another interpretation of the Three of Wands is that of being one step short of complete success. The seeker has one last task to complete, and then success will be assured. The Three of Wands suggests that the first stage of venture project has been completed successfully, but the seeker is not only waiting for the results of the project to bear physical fruit, he or she is also trying to identify what kind of project to take on next. New ideas are being formulated in the horizon, as suggested by the boats in the background of the card. The man in the image grasps onto one of the wands for support. At this time, the seeker is still leaning on others. The seeker or seeker's business has not yet reached a point of independence. The outcome of the project is not just based on the seeker's effort, but is also going to be determined by the work of others. Therefore, success is not entirely within the seeker's control. Cooperation is needed to further business or commercial success. The card may suggest looking for investments or other forms of support for the seeker's project. At this stage, the seeker cannot go at it alone. Let me drink some water because my throat is was killing me. Whoa. So, comes from talking too much. Yeah, I'm going to look at the Four of Pentacles right here as well, since I have it in my hands. And yeah, this may be a different kind of reading that you have been expecting. Normally people don't look at the guidebook and just go on with their intuition and so on and so forth, but I like to merge those two things, the correct meanings with intuition. Currently, most of the thing is reading the meanings. So Four of Pentacles in reverse, recession obstacles. The seeker may lose some money or material possession. There may be business obstacles, a personal recession, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. In reverse, the Four of Pentacles might indicate unemployment. Save right now. Be cautious and prudent. Be conservative with expenses. Another reading of the card in reverse is that the seeker's misalliance is now taking a serious, obvious, adverse toll on his or her life. The pains the seeker feels right now are from the misalliance and being so small with his or her heart. A minority of practitioners interpret the Four of Pentacles in reverse as indicating a seeker who moved from the proverbial small pond to the great ocean and is now feeling lost in that ocean. The seeker went out seeking his or her fortune in that great ocean, but instead has found financial inability and commercial disappointment. It is thus time for the seeker to reevaluate his or her positioning. So basically it's just advising you to really pay attention where you are right now, to save what you can save if this means that you are getting unemployed, because the Three of Wands was talking about self-employment, entrepreneurs, and the Emperor in upright is a leader, so the own leader. It doesn't have to be like a leader of your own. Maybe you are getting a leader position in a company, so making sure that maybe if you are getting into a position of being a leader in a company, maybe search for a coach that can help you navigate through that new process of being a leader, because some people, they are not born to be leaders. Some learn how to be leaders through coaching. That's totally fine. Some others have the leadership in their blood, but it's not for everyone. As my friend in the tarot and divination community I'm in, my soul sister, my big sister, she said, some are meant to be leaders, some are meant to be sheeps. And we, because we are the leaders of the community, we are the leaders, so we have to guide the sheeps. We are the shepherds. So, and that's true, some of us are meant to be leaders and some not. And since you got the leader card, looks like you are meant to be a leader. So now moving on from the tarot cards into the oracle cards portion, I'm going to move that upwards now. It wasn't up here because of the light that it shows a glare. Yeah, that's why it was down here. Onto the oracle decks. So. What message does the higher self of pile number 1 has for them? What else does them... Your higher self is really talkative. We have a lot of cards. At the back of the deck we have the second bloom. A second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. So this card talks all about getting a second chance on something that maybe you have in the past decided to not take that chance because of different circumstances. What it was meant to be in your life, so it coming up again. So you can now take that chance and walk with it. It means that it's not too late to take that second chance, to take the new opportunity, the new possibility. It's never too late to do something that you want. As I said, I like to use the example of something I've seen in a Brazilian program, is that there were elderly people after they married. They have now even grandchildren. Some of them never got the chance to really study in school or get a degree for what always was their dream, because at that time period most of them had to work from a young age or be married at a young age and have children and so on and so forth. Because if this is a woman we're speaking of, women in the past could not have a job for themselves, they could not have a career for themselves. Most of the time they were bound to learn a little bit, but then stay at home, do housework, bear children, raise the children. And if some of them had the dream to be a lawyer, or whatever, they never had the chance to do that. And some of them, after maybe because their husband never let them, or now the possibilities of this day and age is better, now they have the opportunity to study what they have always wanted, and some of them really take that. And so it's never too late to study or start something that you have always wanted to. You have a second chance, you have the possibility, you have to just embrace it. And so then we also have, oh, Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within destiny. Sophia is a Greek word that means wisdom. And why do you think that I call you owls? Because you all have inner wisdom within yourself. For example, my name, Athina, is Greek for the Greek goddess of wisdom, Athina. If you know a little bit about her, here is this. I'm making my YouTube channel name, Athina the Owl, is a wordplay on the Greek goddess of wisdom with the animal that represents wisdom, that together they are a group. Because oftentimes in Greece, Athena is depicted with an owl because the owl represents wisdom. But Sophia means wisdom. I'm just a god. Let's just say I'm just the goddess of wisdom, and you are the wisdom itself. So basically, what this card means is that you have wisdom within yourself. That there is a divine plan, a plan that you've decided to take upon, to follow it, and you've sorted it all out. Your higher self knows about this plan. Your human self doesn't remember about it. But the intuition and the guidance and the inner wisdom sometimes come up and lead us. That's the intelligence within, because there is in the, let's call it the universe. The universe is an intelligent being. It doesn't have a physical form, but it's an intelligent being. And we all come from the universe. We are part of the universe, but different expressions. So in the Rose Oracle, Rebecca Campbell talks about that the intelligence of the universe is within all beings, and with all beings it is also in animals and plants. And this intelligence tells the plant when to bloom, how the earth to rotate, and whatever. So you have that intelligence within you too. You can listen to that too, and get guidance from the wisdom within you. You can follow the destiny of yourself if you listen to it, if you perceive that you have the intelligence, the wisdom that you need to do, to have to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. Then we have after the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. I feel like I should read this one out of the guidebook, even though I know the meaning of this. Sometimes a little bit a read of the guidebook is nice and relaxing. After the rain, there's something very special and sacred about the moment after it stops raining. The atmosphere has released all that it was holding, and in turn the earth has been cleansed, replenished, and nourished. It's a similar feeling to the moment after we stop crying. As those salty healing waters fall, they activate oxytocin and endorphins, which create a shift in how we feel. What was once overwhelming now seems possible. And while we may not know it consciously, noticeable growth will soon follow. After the rain is all about hope, healing, beginnings, and endings. Emotions are soothed. Broken hearts are on the mend. Times of trial are over. Mercy can be felt. There's a moment of relief. A new encouraging silver lining can now be made out in the distance. What's been challenging and difficult has or is about to ease up. If you've been going through a challenging time, this card is here to reassure you that things are about to ease. You've been through the worst of it, and now hope is here. These past weeks, months, or even years haven't been straightforward. They've likely asked you to dig deep and endure hardships that have tested you, but now at long last, there are smooth seas ahead. What you've learned and how you've grown can never be taken from you. And now it's time to enjoy the warmth of the blessings that life has in store for you. Glorious new beginnings are now possible. So, soul inquiry is something you can journal upon. The question, meditate upon to find the answer within yourself is, what are you ready to release? So then we have release the petals. Transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, old change. After the final question, what are you ready to release? Here we get the releasing card. That's nice. Release the petals talks about transformation, that you are going through a transformation, or you should go through a transformation, that things that are not meant to be anymore should die so that you can rebirth. The old way of you is dying so that the new way of you can be born. You are shedding some old stuff that no longer are in alignment with you, and things just keep changing. Like the flowers, the rose, because this is the rose oracle. The rose, yes, in spring it you see the buds, and in summer you see the rose bloom, and then when it's autumn, you see that the rose withers away and releases its petals. Even though it was beautiful, the rose knows that those petals are not meant to be there forever. So the rose just releases without any problems, because it knows when the time's right again, it will bud and bloom again, differently from before, but still beautiful in its own way. And the same happens to you. You will release stuff. You will release old ways of being. And you were beautiful back then too. But now you are emerging into something else that is the same way of beautiful. You have always been beautiful. So things are changing up for you. Pie number 1 is basically what your higher self has been telling. Then you have the Holy Grail. Stop the endless searching. Inner quest. Yeah, don't search for things outside from you. It fits somehow perfectly with the 7 of Cups that we have, with the meanings of the Rider-Waite-Smith. The cups that this person is seeing in the thing is just a distraction, that they are seeking the happiness from those things, but the happiness doesn't come from something superficial outside of you, but it comes from within yourself. This card means about diving deep into yourself and finding the happiness or what you need to do within you. Because you have the inner wisdom, you know, your higher self knows the blueprint of your life. So this is a card to find yourself within you. And you are not alone. You see here, this is, I think it is either a hawk or an eagle, and here we have a deer. So maybe those 2 animals are important to you. It could also be the owl, since we had the mention of wisdom here. So owls, hawks, and deers may be important. The rose, the holy grail, or a cup may appear often. So stop the endless searching outside of you, is what your higher self is telling. Search for this within yourself. Then you also have health, sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. Oh, this is a card that I have not seen often, so I'm going to read that out of the guidebook. Here. When times are turbulent, to keep ourselves steady, we need something to hold on to. When things are crumbling around us, we must find something we can count on that won't budge. Deep roots to hold us steady when the winds of change come blowing. The winds of change with the release the petals. Or The Wind of Change by the Scorpions. It's a good song. Maybe if you want to listen to it. So, back to the card. A supportive community around us. When we leave home, we must find something to hold us. When our lover leaves, we must find something to hold us. When the job ends, we must find something to hold us. When our parents die, we must find something to hold us. When we think there's nothing holding us, it's an invitation to find new supportive ground. This is where we can discover the sureness of the soil, the holding of the roots, and reach out to our community for extra holding. We were never meant to grow on this earth alone. Sometimes life rips from us what we cling to the most, or perhaps we cling to it for we can feel the cycles of change coming. Yet, in the darkness of our longest, darkest night, we discover that in the empty spaces that we can be reached and held the most. It's in this that we discover a holding that we didn't know before. And we discover that what we thought was a tomb is actually a womb. You're being called to trust that the Great Mother has got you, to trust in the sureness of her soil, to trust the process of what's unfolding, and that you are not going through this alone. So something you can meditate upon, make a journal entry, are the questions: how can you call in more support in your life? And what's holding you right now? Your higher self, by the way, is also there holding you as well as your spirit guides. And the Great Mother, you don't have to take it as the Great Mother, you can also take it as the universe, God, Spirit, Source, Mother Earth, whatever fits your shoe, whatever you believe in. All beliefs are welcome here, as long as it's not you trying to change someone else's mind and saying, my belief is the only right one, you have it all wrong, you have to believe in this and that, and forcing your own beliefs on someone else. This is not welcome here. But everything else, you're really welcome here. Then we have the Sun. Ooh. Joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, and play. Yes, after all those hard times, the happiness, the success, the vitality, the enjoyment of life will come. As we had here, after the rain, there is hope, and the hope is the sun. Because after the rain, the sun will always shine again. Then we have the Thorn. Protection, boundaries, clear communication. Oh, that one I'm going to read out of the guidebook as well, because it's an important one. But yeah, know that after the rain, the sun will shine again and things are going to get better. And now I've completely death here. The Thorn. The rose is the queen of all flowers. Her soft and oft fragrant bloom takes our breath away from near and far. A bridge between heaven and earth. She has the capacity to act as a portal to our true selves and call our soul more fully into our body. She leaves us in awe, allowing us to experience heaven on earth for a very precious moment. But the rose is not all gentle and soft. In fact, most roses are armored with spiky thorns and prickles of various shapes and sizes. These sharp protectors act like knights defending their queen, clearly setting the necessary boundary and conditions for her to do what she was born to do. We too are like the rose. So often we don't get taught how important clear communication and loving boundaries are to our relationships. When we are not clear on our needs, when we don't communicate them, when we don't take responsibility for them, it's impossible for others to give us what we need. This often results in a breakdown in the relationship. Communicating our needs and establishing our boundaries allows not just us to feel safe, but those we are in a relationship with to feel safe too. This card delivers the message of the importance of clear communication, boundaries, and taking responsibility. For our needs to be clear with others, we must first be clear with ourselves, and then communicate this to our loved ones and the world. Something that you can here meditate upon as well. Make a journal entry are the questions. What loving boundaries are you being called to establish? How are you being called to communicate clearly to those you are in a relationship with? This is something as well. I've read it today in a webtoon, manhwa, whatever it was. The female lead, her husband was clearly avoiding her because he was embarrassed of the fact that he was feeling sexually attracted to her, because they are in a contractual relationship, marriage. So he was clearly in love with her, and so falling in love with her as well as wanting to have sexual desires and so on. And so he was trying to avoid touching her, being near her, because he was being reminded of the fact how he was feeling, and he didn't want her to find it strange that he was attracted with his lower parts as well. But because of that, he didn't communicate to her what was going on, and so she was worried that she did something wrong. So she was conveying that to her friend, and her friend was, look, if you want to know what's going on, you have to ask them. He will not know what you have been worrying about. He may not even know that you are worrying about it. So you have to ask him clearly what is happening and how you are feeling, so that you can both work this out. And this happened. I was like, when I've read it, I was clapping my hands. Exactly, this is the advice that everyone needs to know. If you want to know something about someone, how they're feeling, or if you're worried about something, you have to ask the other person in a relationship so that you can clear that out. The other person is not going to guess that you are worrying about whatever has been happening. They need you to communicate it. We humans are not capable of telepathy yet. We were in the past, but that was forgotten. So this is something that will be coming up again. There are some times when telepathy functions, but it's in small parts and bits that I've experienced myself, but it's not fully developed yet. So this is something the future generations of Earth will have probably. So it will be easier to understand and know what the other person is feeling. but right now at this time and age we need to open up our mouths and do this. And this is something that I'm preaching, but I need to take my own advice because I don't communicate as well. So now let's make a little bit different with this deck here. This is the Angel Answers deck. So you can think of 3 questions that you want to ask your higher self, for your higher self to answer. You can pause the video so that you can think of those 3 questions that you want to be answered. Now, disclaimer, this is a general reading for a lot of people, so not all the answers are for you. So there is when you need to be discerning and listen to your own intuition and your own wisdom and see if your own intuition and your own wisdom and your own higher self has been trying to communicate that same message to you. You have now to be really discerning and not take this as face value, because there are a lot of people here and the answers that you get is for the majority of the people. So you may be in the minority of the people in this reading that the answer may not apply to. So please use your own discernment and your own intuition and don't take this as the ultimate truth. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Let's shuffle this. So please, higher self of pile number 1, please answer the first question of pile 1. Yeah. So those 2 cards are the first question. So please, higher self, please answer the second question of pile number 1. Please, higher self of pile number 1, here we have. This is the second answer to the question, to the second question. Please, higher self of pile number 1, please answer the third question. Here we have. So, and this is the answer to the third question. So, for the answer for the first question from your higher self is ask for help from others and within the next few weeks. So if you want to accomplish something, there may be a need for you to ask help from someone else that may know more about it, that can help you, guide you. And this is going to happen in the vicinity of the next, in the span of the next few weeks. So you can take this as something happening within the next few weeks, or you needing to ask help from someone else in those next weeks that are coming for your answer to be answered. So your higher self is not here to give you a straight answer, but is saying that you will find the solution to that with working and asking someone else for help, and the solution or whatever will come within the next few weeks. So to answer your second question, you have within the next few months. So the answer to your question will come within the next few months, or when you ask about something that you wanted to manifest, the manifestation will come within the next few months. Just so that you know, time in the other realm, in the 5D and 4D, works a little bit different. So a few months can be 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 9 months. So for them it's just a small speck of the spectrum, but for us here as humans on Earth, it can be a little bit longer than what we imagine. So take it with a little bit of grain of salt, within the next few months and weeks. Then to answer your last question, pile 1, your higher self give recovery. So there's a need for you to recover from something, to take your time, to rest and rejuvenate, to give yourself nourishment or whatever. So something is going to recover maybe as well. So pie number 1. This is everything that I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it was a little bit of help. I wish you all the best, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye! Pie number 2, you chose the Modern Witch Tarot, the Pyrite, the number 2, the tune that you heard, and this is going to be your reading about messages from your higher self. So I hope you are doing great. Just going to shuffle the cards a little bit, so enjoy the ASMR. So, what message does the higher self of pie number 2 have for pie number 2? What message does the higher self of pie number 2 has for them? What message does the higher self of pie number 2 What message does the higher self of pie number 2 has for them? What message does the higher self of pie number 2 has for them? What is the message from the higher self of pie number 2? What is the message today? One fell on the floor. Which one was first? No. See, how many are these? Okay. We have a nice odd number. So, at the back of the deck we have the 3 of Swords. I talk about this 3 of Swords if I have to. But yeah, let's see. So we have, like, just to point out, we have 4 major arcana, and they all encompass the minor arcana that exists. So that's quite an interesting thing to happen. So it looks like, because of the amount of major arcana, the message is important. It's about a major thing in your life. You can say that the major arcana are like a major event that happens, and the minor arcana can be day-to-day life. But the major event that happens with the major arcana are also day-to-day life, but something that occurs rarely, and it is something that will change everything. You could say that it has a big impact, even if it's also something that happens on a day-to-day basis. In this case, it's more often, it has a more effect on it. So we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is curious. the idea that they have, they take action on it without much thinking sometimes. So you could say it's a bit on the reckless side. But let me see on the guidebook. This is a PDF, a holistic tarot, an integrative approach to using tarot for healing, I think. And there we have all the meanings of the cards, as exactly as Rider-Waite-Smith, which the deck is based on, intended. So, Page of Swords, ambition, judicious communication. The Page of Swords is an aggressive but graceful young woman. She is a strong intellectual with great capacity for learning, great potential for diplomacy, and likewise great potential for becoming a fighter. However, that is also her character flaw. She is too quick to judge others or situations. She is quick to fight others and be confrontational, even hostile if she does not get her way or when people disagree with her. On the other hand, she is a warrior and would make a great fighter. She is who you want as an ally in a war. In a reading for a seeker asking about, no, we are not asking about love. But I would say it nevertheless. In a reading for a seeker asking about love, the page could indicate the appearance of a young female with the foregoing qualities. Figuratively, could indicate receipt of news or messages regarding politics or ambitions. Blackbirds flying in the sky not only represent the ability to turn adversity into opportunity, but also symbolize higher intellect and high ideals. Air dominant, the Page of Swords is ambitious, sometimes controversial, prone to steer controversy with her words, a bit argumentative, but a rational, intelligent, bright, and articulate individual. Could signify Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. That's a note that we don't need, because we don't have a second page on this reading. So I can see a little bit of a fighting spirit here, because we have the Emperor in upright, and the Emperor, it's Aries energy, and they take action on things really fast. Sometimes they even don't think about it before they act. I'm sometimes guilty of that, and sometimes I'm just an overthinker. So I have two extremes. Either I don't think before I act, or I think too much and don't act at all. So my friend, she's an Aries too, but she represents Aries so well. When she has made her mind, she wants to do things ASAP. Like when we were planning to go to the jazz music festival in Montreux, in Switzerland here, she wanted to buy the tickets yesterday. And we were, hold on, before we buy those tickets, we need first to know how we will get there. Because I've looked up the tickets for the train tickets, and it was just too expensive, because I was just tagging along just for the fun, because I didn't know any of the artists that were going to play there. And she was like, okay, we need to buy the tickets, and now before they're sold out. And I was, hold on a moment, please. We have to figure out first that, because if we have to go by train, I will not go, because it's too expensive for something that I'm not even a fan of. If it was someone I was a fan of, like BTS or Tomorrow by Together, then this story would be different. But it was something that I didn't know, so she wanted immediately to have the ticket, and me and someone else had to hold her a bit back in the chat we were having and say, hold on, wait a second, we it's best to figure the other things out before we get the tickets. It was so funny, and I was like, yeah, that's an Aries for you. So what else is can you expect from Aries? Loud. So when we are excited, we get really loud. You may, if you have been watching me for some time, you know how excited I can get and talk loudly and with passion. With passion in my voice. You could imagine that that an Aries is like that too. Really passionate. When they are passionate about it, you can hear it loud and clear. The Emperor, you can see here, he is a leader. Even though here in this modern witch tarot, I forgot the name. I wanted to mix this deck with another. They are all depicted as women. So even if the Emperor here looks like a man, it's more of a woman, or well, you could say it's androgynous, or however you pronounce that word, that you don't know what gender the person is exactly, because they just look like they could be both. Of course, genderless is also welcome here, so it doesn't have to be any of the genders that exists. You just can be a person. So yeah, and the Emperor, he will do things, whatever he wants, to get what he wants. So it fits perfectly with the Page of Swords. So I think your higher self is trying to tell you that you need to be a warrior and a leader of yourself and take action upon those things that you want to accomplish. There may be even, because of the 10 of coins, what does it really mean that what I'm thinking? Let me check, just to be sure that I don't spread false information. So 10 of Pentacles, stability, alliance, aristocracy, urbanity, prestige. Number 10, pinnacle of success or pinnacle of tribulation. The 10 of Pentacles represents dynasty. It represents a financially stable and secure family. That family will gain long-lasting wealth and prosperity. Pinnacle of success. This card typically appears in a spread for seekers who are from a thriving family business or come from a family of wealth or financial stability. There is good pedigree, good family reputation. There is also a strong patriarch, and the family is enjoying the fruits of the patriarch's hard work. Dogs indicate faithfulness and domesticity. The 10 of Pentacles can also suggest the acquisition of power through family alliances. So since we have here a matriarch, maybe you have that, but as from your matriarch side, because on the original Rider-Waite deck, let me get my deck to show off. On the original deck, even though mine is not the original deck, it's a little bit more radiant. Where's the Pentacles? Here. you can see that here is sitting an old man with his dog, and the family is here. And here we have an old woman, a wise woman, a crow. If you know a crown, I mean, not crow. Yeah, we had the crow appear with a page of sword, but in the original deck. Maybe a crow is important to you. I don't know why I said this, but either way, we have the crown here. So looks like you have what it takes to make those things possible. I think you just lack a little bit of confidence, because the strength card is here in reverse. And if yes, I'm going to look up the cards. Be with me, because I want to learn the correct meaning of the cards and not just spread false information as internet likes to do. So reverse meaning of strength is brute, carnal, obdurate, obstinate. Well, the seeker must be cautious that brute force is not used. Well, we had the warrior with the page of swords, and we have the emperor. Yeah, I can see where the brute force comes from. The card in reverse could suggest reliance on the physical faculties rather than mental, emotional, intellectual, or spiritual. However, depending on the other cards in the spread or the issue at hand, could also indicate a waning of physical strength. Look to other cards to identify what is causing the waning of physical strength in the seeker. K8, because it's in the number 8, can be a card that reflects health or wellness. The card could also indicate that the seeker is using his or her strength in the wrong way, being too stubborn, to the emperor, and obstinate in response to a particular situation. The card in reverse is a reminder of what true strength is. When strength appears upright, meekness and compassion will prevail. When strength appears in reverse, it could be an indication that the seeker's conduct is too passive, and that which represents the lion, that fierce foe is overwhelming the seeker. Another reading of strength when it is in reverse is a sense of holding back. The seeker is holding back, and as a result is unable to achieve his or her objective. The seeker must exercise full force of strength to prevail, harness the energy of fire to overcome obstacles, since strength is Leo energy. So we have Aries and Leo. I don't think any Sagittarius here. I don't see any Sagittarius here. Oh wait, no. Temperance is not Sagittarius, is it? Sagittarius is not Temperance. No way, it is. We have all 3 fire signs here. We have Aries, we have Leo, and we have Sagittarius with Temperance. Well then. We also have some air energy. What is? Yeah, that's Neptune. Okay, Neptune. Was it Pisces? Yeah, it should be Pisces energy with Neptune energy. Neptune rules over Pisces, if I remember correctly. My astrology knowledge is limited. Whatever. But looks like we have all 3 fire signs representing here. Looks like I'm here present too. Because I am a Leo rising, a Sag Moon, and an Aries Sun. So, hi. Whatever. So, since the cards that are indicating here near strength, we have the Page of Swords. That could indicate warrior, and sometimes fighting a little bit for the wrong cause. And we have the Ten of Pentacles with family. So brute force concerning the goals for family lineage, maybe. Because we have the Emperor as well here. So I will see this more as a brute force in the physical, as it's stated in the guidebook. But what needs to be done, as the guidebook said, is dealing that a little bit down and finding balance. Because brute force is not... It reminds me, violence is not the answer. It reminds me of that. So violence is not the answer. Except if you are trying to make a machine work. It reminds me of the old television that were like really thick, like not the plasma, a really thin television, but the really thick ones that you would like when it was not working, you would just slam at it from the side to get it back to work. And that's when violence is the answer. But take it as a joke, please. Oh god, I'm old. But yeah, it reminds me of that. But in other stories, violence is not the answer. But there looks like there is some deception happening, because there is the Seven of Swords right here in between Temperance and the Hanged Man. So I don't know if this is talking about you deceiving someone to get what you want, because I did say that the Emperor does everything he can to reach his goal. And we had also stubborn appear, and yeah, Aries can be stubborn too. I come from a lineage of stubbornness. It begins with my grandma, goes to my father, and ends with me currently, because I don't have any children of my own. So I was wanting to see Temperance. Hold on. Where is Temperance? Temperance. Here. Temperance. Jupiter, Sagittarius. Some call Temperance the healing card. It denotes greater external and universal forces entering into our individual lives to right what is wrong. Oh, like in the sense that your higher self will enter into the picture if it sees that you are trying to forcefully do something when it shouldn't. That's quite interesting. Restore what was lost, cool what was too hot, heat up what was too cold, and temper our lives for balanced harmonious health. The card is about internal balance. Comparing it to Justice, card 11, Justice indicates external balance. Temperance is the fusion of two contrasting elements and bringing them into harmony within the mind of the spirit. The Temperance card could also indicate that tempering is an important factor in dealing with the seeker's current situation. Yeah, tempering that brute force to not be the warrior in a bad way that the Page of Swords had, the shadow aspects of the Page of Swords that we had previously on Minecraft. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from, but my nerdy side came out. The Temperance card could also indicate that dealing with this, the seeker needs to reconcile two contrasting elements and bring them to harmony. Temperance and balance are the keys to resolving the matter at hand. If the seeker is single and asking about love, which I don't think we are doing, Temperance urges the seeker to examine his or her own behavior as the source of romantic complications. There is an internal imbalance within the seeker causing difficulties in love. If the seeker is in a relationship and asking about love, Temperance suggests the greater blah 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 blah. We are not here about love, we are here talking about general stuff. The two goblets that the angel holds represent the higher level unconscious and lower level consciousness. The water poured between the two symbolizes reconciliation or temperance of the two. There is also an issue of whether the water flows from the higher cup to the lower cup with gravity, or from the lower cup to the higher cup against gravity, against the laws of physics. Tempting the unconscious with the conscious will resolve our anxieties and depression. Well, then. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, to look up the Seven of Swords, but I think basically where is it? The Seven of Swords. Here we have impulsiveness, spontaneity, deception, and evasion. Yeah, spontaneity. There was this talk about that with the Page of Swords. So the Seven of Swords could indicate someone who flees from the norms of his or her time, someone who feels the need to do things his or her own way. There is a strong sense of an impulsive personality. The card could also indicate that the seeker is fleeing from something he or she has done that he or she is not proud of, or that someone is spying with ulterior motives. There is a betrayal and deception. Look to neighboring cards to determine what interpretation to apply. Either way, the seven. So we have internal things with the Temperance, and we have the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man was hanged by the collective. So I think both sides apply. But since the Seven of Swords is looking at the Hanged Man, it may be that someone with ulterior motives, betrayal and deception was at hand. But I cannot say for sure. Since you know your situation better, you can put 2 and 2 together and make your own reading, basically. Like what I've been reading here. For disregard. Either way, the Seven of Swords is about a character who demonstrates disregard for consequences and is more focused on getting his or her own way. Yeah, the Emperor is still coming through. The tents in the background, we have here houses, but yeah. Suggests the battlefield or a sense of impermanence. The man in the distance. There is a man in the distance. Okay. I don't see it. But either way, where was I? The man in the distance. I lost. The man in the distance could indicate that the seeker does not fit in with the crowd because the seeker is different from others, and as a result may feel like an outcast, and that's when the Hanged Man comes in. That feeling of being an outcast could be the reason for the seeker's action and attitudes. The seeker is now embracing that role as an outcast and doing as he or she pleases, without concern for the group, since the group never cared for the seeker anyway. We don't have to compare this, but why I'm saying that's why we have the Hanged Man there, it's because I told you that the Hangman was placed there by a group. The traditional theme of the Hangman is that of self-sacrifice. The mob, the crowd, has metaphorically hung the seeker because they do not approve of the seeker's belief of what the seeker has done. He is the outcast. But, however, the message of the card is that the seeker is right. The seeker must trust him or herself. That's when their confidence hits. But not the brute force, please. Don't try to force someone to believe in the same thing as you do. You will not achieve that. You will just achieve that they will go into defensive mode. It's like, now I'm going to make myself some haters. It's like the debate of the vegetarians and the vegans against those that eat meat, because there are some individuals that really try to force their beliefs, like their vegetarianism and veganism, into those people, and that's when you cannot make a discussion, because they are forcefully trying to change the other person's mind, and this just triggers the defensive mechanism of the other, and so there starts an argument. But if you would say just, hey, I am eating it because of this, and that, and the other person, okay, I see where you're coming from, but I cannot do this because of that, and that, then they should accept the other person's opinion as well. Because I am from the belief that everyone's opinion is valid, and even if I don't agree with someone, we can just agree to disagree, and just learn from and learn the new perspective of someone else, and just have that in mind. And maybe one day, when my beliefs changes, maybe I will see, yeah, they were totally ahead of their time. It happens. But yeah, the seeker must trust herself. He or she or they, let's go with they, has wisdom. The owl represents wisdom. Hello, my owls. You are wisdom. So, and I made that strange thing. The nimbus, what is the nimbus? Is the nimbus, I don't know if it's the nimbus that one here, or is it the form here? I don't know. Not good with. Nah, it's the nimbus on here because it says divine. The nimbus represents enlightenment, possessing knowledge that resonates with the divine, with the right, and with the good. So basically telling you that you have the wisdom within, that the crowd and the mob put you here on this thing because they disagree with your beliefs and are putting you on the spot, basically. But it doesn't mean that you have to force your opinion on them, because it's just going to activate the defense mechanism of the other person. So that's when the harmony deals in, yeah, you can share your own opinion, but just leave it at that and don't start an argument, and just be proud to be an outcast. Because I am one too. Hey, I'm the black sheep, and I like to be swimming against the what is it called now again? English is not working today. Well, either way. The Hangman is also about seeing the same issues as others, but through a different perspective. Yeah, that's when the perspective hits. The Hierophant, the card number 5, is about an orthodox, conventional, institutionalized approach. In reverse, the Hierophant is about the unorthodox, unconventional approach, which will lead to seekers' success and final glory. The Hermit, card 9, is also about an unorthodox, unconventional approach, but one led in solitude. Here, card 12, the Hanged Man, is about an approach by the seeker that offends, albeit unjustly and without good cause, the masses, and therefore the masses are persecuting the seeker. Yet their nimbus reminds the seeker that the mob's approval is not needed. Furthermore, the Tau cross formed by the legs of the Hanged Man indicates the balance between dominion and slavery. Yeah. Note the Tau cross in the legs re-emerging in key 21. The word suggests that it is the Hanged Man who shall attain the fulfillment of the word card, not the mob. Thus, the appearance of the Hanged Man card is in a reading is also an encouraging message to the seeker to hang in there. It is the seeker, not the mob, who is in the right. The Hanged Man may also indicate spiritual growth or innate ability to prophecy. An end message here, although the mob has hung the seeker and condemned them, ultimately the seeker must forgive. There is a component of grace to the card. The seeker must show grace to their condemners. The Hanged Man's hands are hidden. His ultimate offering to the world has yet to be seen. The archetype here is the wounded healer. And we had healing with temperance. Another reading of the Hanged Man is that of the unsettling calm before a storm, before the difficult and painful transition indicated in key number 13, death. The Hanged Man is a feeling of suspension similar to the question that the Fool present. Will the seeker fall or fly? Sacrifice, though, is the final message. There is a greater good at stake, and it is the seeker who will make the sacrifice for that greater good. The element of water governs is card attributions associated with water represents the external forces at play in the seeker's situation. Yin energy is dominant. The feminine energy, by the way, is yin. But yeah, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. So now I'm going to put this up here so we have room for the oracle cards. But it just makes sense. Yeah. There was something that I wanted to mention, but I forgot. Well, either way, if it is important, it should come up again. But yeah, let's move on to the oracle cards to get some more messages from your higher self. But yeah, quite interesting reading. Quite interesting. So, what messages does the higher self of pie number 2 has for them? What message has the higher self of pie number 2? What else does the higher self of pie number 2? Floor. Your cards like the floor today. So, what other message does the higher self of pie number 2 has for them? What else does the higher self of pie number 2 wants to say? What other messages the higher self of pie number 2 has for them? Any other messages from the higher self of pie number 2? Yes, we have here. Good. I don't know why I'm being reminded of. Is it the pink? Is it? It's the Pink Panther, right? Is it because of the rose color deck? But yeah, okay. At the back of the deck we have the Sacred Union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. Ooh! So we do have something to do with the relationship. The Sacred Union is all about English words missing. Help. Inner and outer relationship, beloved within. It's talking about the feminine and the masculine energy that we all have within ourselves, the yin and the yang. To find balance within ourselves will also help find balance within the outer places, like in temperance. If you find balance and harmony within yourself and you have a good relationship with yourself, you will also have a good relationship with other people. Like it's like the thing that as above so below, as within so without. So as you are within, the outer places will fall into balance. So we have the inner balance here, and as a comparison, we had justice that talks about balance from an external place. So finding balance internally will help you find balance externally as well, and that's all about the Sacred Union here. So you will find union and balance with your outer relationships when you have it within yourself as well. Basically summarized. Then we also have Lineage of the Rose, moved by the goddess, here for this soul call gather. So whatever this is that you are doing, because we did have the business here, the family business. If you have your family business and you're taking on that, and you have like a different perspective of the company as a whole and as it was in the past, maybe you are here to change what was into something new. Like the outdated is now being renewed with the new generation and the new things. You may work with a goddess, or call the universe the goddess, because there are people that instead of spirit calls it the universe, instead of the universe it's God, or if it's not God it's the goddess. Then we have everything's welcome, but here in this deck it's particularly goddess and feminine energy that we have. Of course the masculine energy also appears, because without one you cannot have the other. So you are here for this. You came here to do that. That's your soul calling you to maybe gather around with like-minded people and make a community, so that you are not the only outcast. Because even when you think that you are the only one that thinks like this, you have not met all the people on this wide earth. Like we have like 8 billion or whatever people on earth. There is surely to be someone that has the same belief as you, or went to something similar as you, that can understand you on a soul level. I'm hearing read it out of the guidebook. Well, thanks for that. Wait, I cannot. Today I'm not here. My brain is not activated yet. lineage of the rose. These times, these changing, divisive times, your soul chose to be here right now for this. You're part of a collective team led by the goddess, by the mother of us all, to reweave the thread of the rose back into the tapestry of humanity, to make spaces where all people feel cherished and safe, to heal and be healed, not held, from the destructive patterns of patriarchy. And that's why we have the matriarchy here. Sorry, that was a joke. To be part of the return of the goddess to the earth. If you've been doubting your path, you're being called to look within and trust the whispers and weavings from caverns deep. The way of the mystic rose is walked by few and known by heart, not mind. Try not to overthink, rather trust the threads that are woven deep. This card contains within it a confirmation of the inner call and a reassurance that you are not alone in it. The mother of us all thanks you for being part of these changing times for humanity. She acknowledges your devotion to doing your best to support yourself, and others in the journey back home, to themselves, to each other, and to the earth. She wants you to know that she is available to guide you every step of the way. Speak, sing, and dance with her. You are led, you are led, you are led. Something that you may want to meditate upon, make a journal entry and to find the answer within yourself is the question, how are you being called to commit more deeply to humanity and the earth? So now, moving on, we have health. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, and community. This is all about embracing the dark, the void, because sometimes living on earth is not easy. It is hard, and we go through obstacles and hardships to grow and evolve as an individual. But at those times, we need to know that you are being held by the goddess, spirit, source, the universe, your spiritual team, and as well as your higher self. To trust and let yourself be held by them, to feel the love from them, to call in support when you need someone to lean on and talk things out. To really lean in and feel how you are being held and supported by people in the physical world as well as the spirits in the spirit realm. So this is a call of just surrendering and letting the others hold you, to know that everything is going to be all right, and positive things will come. Like, it's not over yet. Good things will come. So then we have the child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. This is all about mothering yourself again, because you have a child within as well as you have a mother within yourself, and sometimes our child within, or inner child, feels lonely, it feels hurt, it feels not seen because of things that happened as in the past when we were children, and is a hurt that we as adults keep on having. And it's now for us as the responsible adult that we have to take care of our inner child as well, to hear it out, to be there, to hold it, to heal those wounds that we may have had from the past, to be gentle with ourselves, to be tender with ourselves, because we all are children of the universe. And this reminds me of the workshop that I did with Rebecca Campbell. This is her deck. And I did post in the community tab something. A channeled message from the grandmothers of my lineage for humanity. I'm here on my iPad going on my channel to pick that up, what I wrote. So here, yes. It's a small message that I've got. It's, don't give up on this planet and its people. We and you are all children of the mother, learning and loving in our own ways. It's like what I have got from that message is that we all are children here on this planet, and we all are learning how to live life as humans. Some souls here are incarnating for the first time on Earth and have no idea how it works. Some of us are old souls that may have incarnated in places other than Earth and know how the other places in higher dimension can be totally different and find it hard to be here on Earth, and they just want to go back to that place. I'm guilty of that too. But we have to know as well and see that everyone is a child. We are all walking children here, trying to figure out how to live life. And in the process, yes, we will hurt others, and we will be hurt by others, because it's the only way we will learn all the things that are possible here on Earth. It's like I've lost my tangent here for a second. Because we came here to have the experiences in us, in that moment, in this time, and experience different kinds of things here on Earth, because it's only here on Earth that you can experience some things that you cannot in other places. And it's like, it reminds me as well as the hurt person hurts others. So we are learning and we are healing. We love and learn differently from one another. Well, we are still the same, still loved by the Great Mother in this case, because the workshop was all about the feminine energy and connecting with the goddess, the mother archetype, and the grandmothers, because they were mothers as well. And yeah, it's a choice. There are some people that don't choose to heal their wounds from when they were a child, and now they are hurt adults hurting others. So we have the choice to change that, to heal ourselves, to listen to our inner child, and to not hurt others the same way we got hurt in the first place. Of course, we will hurt others unintentionally. That is something that will happen, but we have the choice to at least learn from it, to communicate to one another. Hey, look, this really hurt me. I rather you not do this again. And that's totally fine, if you can, of course, acknowledge and respect when someone does that, and to not do it again. So that was a big side tangent. Let's move on to the next one. We have Whispers of Mother Earth. Creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. So looks like you are the creatives here of the group. The Whispers of Mother Earth is like going into nature and listening to the whispers of nature and receiving ideas, projects, inspiration to write, to channel messages, to make songs, to make music, to make drawings, paintings, whatever. Because the mother births a child. This can be metaphorical as well, that we all are mothers that births creations, ideas, like the ideas that I have for making my YouTube videos. Those are all creations that I'm birthing. It started with a thought that I got. Then I have to put in the action to make that thought a reality. And I'm losing my voice. Now I lost my tension again. But yeah, we are all mothers and creating. So with this card, it's calling you out to create, to be inspired by nature, maybe, to listen to the whispers that you are hearing, and start writing, start being the artist, start doing the projects that you have in mind, because you've got that idea for a reason. It wants to be birthed through you. So, on to the next, because I'm losing my voice. Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching. There is a legend that is mentioned with the meaning of the card. Sub Rosa means under the rose. It was in the past when there were meetings, most of the time it were men, that went to a meeting place, and when there was roses, I think it was rose girlands, hung upon the door, everyone knew that it was Sub Rosa. It means that under the rose will stay under the rose. So everything said in that place at that time will stay there. It will not be shared. It is a secret. So there is a secret hidden in plain sight. It's a mystery, and not everyone is able to access that knowledge. So I think it is talking about knowledge. Hold on. When the things, yeah, the things, the thing. When the insecurity hits, I pick up the guidebook. Sub Rosa. The rose has been a symbol of secrecy for millennia. The ancient Romans who wore rose garlands on special occasion, and when these were hung above important meeting places, the conversation that took place beneath were considered sub rosa, under the rose. It was understood that things said under the rose would be kept a secret and not repeated. There's also an image of the ancient Egyptian god Horus sitting with a rose and holding his finger to his lips, symbolizing silence about the deep mysteries. The phrase sub rosa may have its origin in ancient Greece, where in 477, I think this is before Christus, I don't know, the BCE, I think it is before Christus, but I'm not sure. I only know the things in German, how it is. A secret negotiation took place in a building attached to the temple of Minerva, seen on this card. By the way, so just so that you know, Minerva is the Roman goddess of wisdom, and the Greek goddess of wisdom is called Athina. That's me. So I always when they talk about ancient Greece, and I see here the temple of Minerva, I'm like, no, this has to be Athena, because Greece would never use Minerva as a name. That's the Roman goddess, not the Greek one, please. Even though they may be the same, they are not. Sorry, that's the half Greek in me coming out. It's something I need to mention. That's my name. On the building's roof was a rose garden, hence sub rosa. Another otherworldly theory of the phrase's origin is linked to Eros, who is said to have bribed Harpocrates, the Greek god of silence and secrecy, with a rose to persuade him to remain silent on the efforts of the god. And here we have the correct names of the Greek goddess, of gods, I mean. But Minerva is Roman. It always gets me. It always frustrates me. My pride as a Greek is hurt. I'm sorry. I'll come back. And this card represents the great mysteries that are available for us to uncover and remember, secrets that are waiting to be found, teachings that your soul might be ready to learn. Look beyond what your eyes can see and dig a little deeper. You're here to uncover lost wisdom, ancient secrets, and deep mysteries. We had the wisdom with the Hanged Man. Are you being called to study the great mysteries, to live the great questions, and step into your role as a teacher, guide, or mystic? Are you being called to question things and unearth the truths unknown? Something to meditate upon, make a journaling entry is, what are you being called to study, learn more about, or unearth? So after my tangent of flipping because of the name, we have rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. That's a card that I always forget the meaning of. And I always have to read it out of the guidebook because it appears rarely, but always when it appears, I have never the idea of what exactly it means. So, rapture. Flora is the ancient Roman goddess of spring and flowers. In one myth, she was struck by Cupid's arrow and overwhelmed by love and completely breathless in a moment of rapture. She called for Eros. However, the sound Ros came out of her mouth instead, so Rose became another word for Eros. And it also became the symbol for love, beauty, and passion. Read another version of the story about Flora naming the rose on page 18. So let's do that because I like mythology. So here we have. In one Roman story, Flora, the goddess of spring and flowers, discovered the body of a beautiful nymph in the forest. Grief-stricken, she prayed for it to be transformed into the most beautiful flower ever known. The three Graces and Venus then turned the nymph's body into a rose, and from that day on, goosebumps. Day on, the rose became known as the queen of all flowers. In another Roman myth, the goddess Cybele or Magna Mater great mother is said to have created the rose because she was jealous of Venus and wanted something more beautiful to attract Adonis. Many patriarchal religions have placed a shameful cloak around sensuality, a word that I cannot pronounce because of YouTube, but it is similar to the number 6. Pleasure, ecstasy, rapture, and sexuality. One of the most natural, pleasurable parts of life has become conditional and judged. The rose wants us to hear from this and to remember that pleasure, sensuality, and sexual preference and expression of desire can be some of the most sacred, miraculous things about being a human on earth. This card comes with a message about receiving and giving love and pleasure. Flora wants you to know that your sensuality, your passion, and your sexuality sorry, no matter how you identify, I'm killing myself, are sacred and holy. She wants to commit to she wants you to connect with your sensual true nature and to celebrate this in all people. But I'm nothing. I'm sorry. I cannot take myself serious anymore. I should not have watched what I have watched before filming this video. I was watching two VTubers talking about memes, and now I'm a walking meme. I thought, okay, rose transmission. You could see this as an affirmation. Is my sensuality is sacred and holy. Others people's sensuality is sacred and holy. I open myself up to express and receive love in a way that feels safe and good to me. I release painful programming and experiences and return to love. Sorry that talking about something serious, I just started a meme. Okay, now on to the next oracle deck. This is going to be a little bit different. So you can pause the video if you want to think of 3 questions you want to ask your higher self. When you have the 3 questions, think about them and know that this is a general reading. So your question may not be answered because the cards here answer the majority of the people here in group 2. So you may feel your intuition telling you something else. And now I have to be clear. Your intuition is the whisper, not the chatter in your mind that is loud. Meaning if you don't like the answer and you think, then it's probably the opposite. That's ego-based. So you have to really sit with yourself in silence, in meditation if you want to really confirm the message, the question that you have, to see if it's really for you or not. So don't take the answer of these cards as face value. Take them with a grain of salt and be discerning and use your own intuition. Okay, please, higher self of pile number 1, please answer the first question of pile number 1. Please, higher self, answer the first. Thanks. Please, higher self of pile number 2, the second. You have not seen that. Please, higher self, the third question. Please answer the third question of pile 2. Please answer. Interesting. Hold on, there was a card that flipped over. Yeah. 2 flipped over. And 3 fell out, so let's put the 2 that flipped over first here, and just take a look at the 3 that came out afterwards, just to it's not the 4th question, it's just to see if it was meant to be or not. So answering your first question, you have compromise. You need to find a compromise. Finding the balance, you have here the scale, justice, and temperance. Then answering your second question, you have opportunity within the next few weeks. So it looks like within the next few weeks you will have an opportunity to maybe find the answer to the second question. Or if you have been asking about something that you want to manifest within the next few weeks, you have the opportunity to get it, or something like this. So now that the 2 cards that flipped over first before those 3 cards came out for the 3rd question is, if you believe, and forgiveness. So if you believe in a certain thing, it will come, but it also has something to do with you need to forgive either yourself or someone else. Then the 3 cards that came out were, the situation will improve, look for a sign, and meditation brings answers. So take what resonates, what your own intuition has been telling you for this 3rd answer here. But yeah, pile number 2, this is everything that I have for you. I hope this could help a little bit. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. I wish you all the best, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye! Hi, pile number 3, you chose the Gentle Heart Tarot, the Aura Amethyst, the number 3, or the tune that you heard, and this is going to be your reading, messages from your higher self. So let's get into the shuffling. Hope you've been doing well. So please enjoy the ASMR of card shuffling, even though it's not an ASMR channel. So what message does the higher self of pile number 3 has? What is the message from pile number 3's higher self? What is the message of pile number 3's higher self? What is the message of pile number... What is the message of pile number 3's higher self? What is the message of pile number 3's higher self? What is the message? Do we have one more card so that it is an odd number of cards, please. A message from pile number 3's higher self. A message of pile number 3's higher self. One more card, please, higher self. Thank you. So at the back of the deck we have the Hanged Man in reverse. I will talk about this card if I feel the need to talk about it. But first, let me see. This should not be, yeah, an odd number. That's what I needed. Can you see all the cards? Barely possible. Let me just make this so that you can see a bit more. Okay. So pile number 3. Your higher self wants to pay attention to the Ace of Wands, Ace of Crystals here in this deck, because it's in the middle. It's the heart center of the spread. So it's the main message of your higher self. You may feel a little bit burned down, because when I saw the Ace of Crystals in reverse, I felt like I heard and felt like there was something going on with burnt out, like having worked really hard on something or always on the same thing, and it somehow just the passion, the motivation just lost a little bit. Like you've been working on this for wish fulfillment because of the Nine of Cups that we have here in the back. The Nine of Cups upright talks about having all the things that you individually want and be happy with it. There is a deck that I have where the Nine of Cups, there is a man sitting and he has this really smug face. This really smug expression on his face about how happy he is because he has all the 9 cups. So you may have worked towards this in secret, because the moon card talks about the unknown, secrets, intuition. So you may have not talked to anyone about this, what you have been trying to do, and you've just been working really hard to have enough resources for the next generations to come, for yourself, for your kids if you want to have kids. It doesn't have to be, because the 10 of Diamonds is a card about having the financial means for many generations to come. It is something that came from the elderly person. It is passed down to the next generation and the next generation. So if you've been working towards this, you may, well, wait, let me express myself better. If you have been working towards having enough finances so that you and the next generations after you don't have to worry about having food on the table, having housing, whatever is needed to survive even. You've been working towards this, but somehow it feels like you're a little bit lost. like the passion is away, the motivation went out. Let me see what the two of because it's the two of crystals here in this deck means. Something or someone is waiting for the right moment to enter into your life, but to you it will be a complete surprise. This unforeseen circumstance might cause more stress than you can handle right now. Try not to blame yourself for the things that stress you out. During a period in which you are intensely focused on another project, it's expected that something may go on unnoticed until it's literally right in front of you. Gently bring your awareness back to the big picture every so often to help you see things from a higher perspective. Yeah, as well as right besides is the Ace of Crystals. Reversed, it says, don't feel discouraged when faced with delays. When the Ace of Crystals shows up reversed, you are being called to reevaluate your approach and motives. Are you attempting to become more successful for yourself or to impress other people? Keep your personal motivation at the core of your work to avoid too many roadblocks. Like, you've been working towards this, but somehow there is this blockage. Like there's something coming in, or it may have already come in where it's stressed you out because you did not expect this to come. But at the end of the day, at the end of here, we continue. We have the Ace of Cups, so it will bring you fresh energy. Your emotional state is going to be better and balanced. It's like your cup is full, so you are emotionally not available, but you're emotionally in a good place as well as energetic wise, meaning that you can continue to move forward even if it's a little bit slower. The Four of Diamonds, let me see that one. The Four of Diamonds is the Four of Pentacles. Quarrels over money simply aren't worth it. Whether you are upset about the financial hit you took in business or are in the midst of a costly legal battle, it's not worth losing your happiness or self-confidence over. Don't hold on to a specific outcome, as you are potentially setting yourself up for the pain. Loosen your grip on situations that are not in your control anymore, and preferably focus on circumstances you can influence. Ask yourself if there is a deeper meaning to your need for control. So looks like first off, you've got a little hit on the motivational side, but a little bit later on you will get hit by the financial thing, but it's not at the end of the day, because the end card that you have here, the Six of Crystals, is the success. It's the acknowledgement of others, the rewards of your hard work. So even if things are getting here a little bit on the harder side, there is still hope at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, there is still light. The Knight of Diamonds, the Knight of Pentacles here. Lack of motivation brings out the worst in the Knight of Diamonds. Without a reason to keep striving, the Knight of Diamonds produces a growing list of missed opportunities. Becoming increasingly uninterested in employment, personal growth, and travel isn't uncommon. Money problems rapidly approach when the Knight of Diamonds have lost their way. Yeah, so you may have lost your way. You don't know anymore what motivates you. Like let's give an example of myself, so that maybe you can relate and put it into how it works for you. My YouTube channel. So my first thought of my YouTube channel was to make videos that could help others and also lighten the burden of my community, tarot and divination amino community where I'm in, because we often get people that start new with divination and tarot. Some of them even don't know what the difference is between tarot and oracle, or the hybrid of tarot oracle, like reading the cards with intuition instead of the meanings. That will be tarot oracle, because we had to define that within our team, because tarot, the essence of tarot got a little bit wishy-washy throughout this time. And I'm sorry if you're hearing yelling, that's the children of my neighbor. So it got wishy-washy, and when we were talking about tarot and oracle, and of my dear soul sister, she said that reading tarot is just reading tarot. You read what the cards say, what is the meaning of the cards and their function. It has nothing to do with intuition and so on. This is her personal side, because she is learning Sagittarian tarot, and this is passed down for generations and generations through the mouth. There are no guidebooks per se, because it would be a lot of different things, and this takes a lifetime to learn. The style that she is working towards, and you really read tarot cards based on their meanings and their functions. Like, there is a certain function that they have when they are in a certain position, and the tarot reader has to have that in mind, the meaning and the function, and what applies to what, and what is the combination of two of the cards together. And in a modern version of tarot, we do have the meanings, but we don't pay attention much to the meanings. We more often we listen to our intuition and our spirit team, and listen to their guidance and what they want to convey, as well as what we are getting from the feeling of the readers, and so on and so off. So this is a type of oracle. So if you go search the definition of oracle, it's just channeling messages down from the divine in different forms, and they're just basically using intuition, whereas reading tarot is just reading tarot without any intuition involved. So that's why big tangent, but that's why some people don't know the difference between tarot, tarot oracle, and oracle decks. So we have always newbies that come in and don't know that, and we often have to explain the same thing again and again. So I thought, why not make a YouTube channel where I explain this once, and when we get new people, I just send them the link. Here it is, so that we don't have to always explain. We have already something that is timeless, that can be used a lot and can be built upon. So I can send the video, they can watch it. If they have still questions, we can answer them and build up on that basic fact. As well as I also like to use the channel not only for the tarot and divination community, we know that I am in, just to help there lighten up the burden of the staff, because I'm part of the staff, but also to help others how tarot and divination helped me, as well as share my own experiences for others to see, hey, you are not going crazy. We may have gone through the same thing, because I didn't know for more than 20 years that I was an empath, and I was always feeling tired after I've been outside. I always got a lot of evil eye, and I didn't know why. And so after meeting spirituality, tarot, and divination, I got to learn that. And I wish I knew this before, but it was just not my time. So all the experiences that I had before, the experiences that I'm having now, is something that I want to share with others that may go through similar things, to know that they are not alone, and to help in any way I can possible with the things that helped me go through my awakening, my healing journey, and so on. So that is my motivation, to help others. And I've lost this motivation and my goal throughout, because I was so focused on having enough views and likes, and I have to keep on reminding myself why I am even doing this. It's not for the views and not for the likes, it's just to help at least someone out there that really needs it. It doesn't have to be hundreds of people. At least if I can help someone out there with what I'm blabbering about, that is good enough for me. And I have to keep reminding myself of that, and not fall into the obsession of views and likes. And so maybe this is the reminder from your higher self to get back. Why are you even doing that? What was the initial thing that you wanted to start with? Was it to help others? Was it for you? Was it for you and your family, perhaps? Where did this all came from? Where is the motivation that you've lost, that could indicate that you are here a little bit on the motivational loss, and maybe also financial loss, because you lost your way in a certain form. So let's see what else your higher self has for you with the oracle deck. Pretty straightforward today. I feel like pile number 1 and 2, I went on and on and on. But it's okay to have a little bit a shorter video, because pile number 1 and 2 were really long. It made me exhausted. I had to film both on different days, and yours too on different day, because it took a lot from me. And I needed to recover. So what message does the higher self of pile number 3 has for them? What message does the higher self of pile number 3 has? What is the message from pile number 3's higher self? What is the message of pile number 3's higher self? What is the message of pile number 3's higher self that we have? A lot. So we have, trust the seasons, embracing change, cycle of life, transition and growth. So this is a card talking about that you should embrace change, that nothing is going to be the same all the time, that as nature we also have seasons and a time where we need to rest and recuperate, where we are not a lot we don't have a lot of motivation, we don't have a lot of passion, we don't have a lot of ideas come from. It's because we after coming up with ideas and after working towards those ideas, we've been spending energy on birthing a creation. If this is a project, for example. And this exhausts our body, our mind, our emotion, because we are so invested in emotionally. We take action upon this. We need our mental strength to do certain things. If it's something physical, for example, painting or drawing, you need your hands and your what is it called? Let me Google it, because the English word just flew out of my mind. Your wrist. You need your wrist. You need to be sitting down a lot. So this can also take a toll on your body. Your wrist may start hurting if you constantly do the same movement for a long time of period. Your butt will also hurt if you are sitting down all the time. So your physical body also needs rest. And it's like, sorry. I'm filming this after eating a lot for lunch, so I'm a little bit on the food coma side. That's why I'm so heavy. Just my body digesting food. So what it is here is that you should embrace the change, that you cannot be always 100% in whatever you do. That there are times where you just need to release stuff, to grow, to learn, to transition from one phase into the other. It's like the rose, from the bud, the rose blooms, withers away, and then you have the rose hip. And then after that, the plant just sleeps throughout winter, just for when spring comes again, for it to wake up slowly again, get into the bud, bloom, and so on and so forth. This is a cycle, and we are nature. We are not separate from nature, and so we also have cyclical moments. If you are and consider yourself by gender female and you have the menstrual cycle, for example, I when I am near my day, when my blah, blah, blah. When I'm near the shark day, when everything starts to hurt and it gets red. Sorry for being so visual. Before that, I feel a few days before how my body is just tired and wants to sleep more, wants to relax, because it's the cycle of resting. Throughout when you have your period, it's a time of rest. Your body needs it's resting. And after that, it's when when the period is over, you start have this energetic burst again, where you are back at it. Your hormones are not in your way. You can do all the things that you wanted to do. But while you are in the beginning and during the period, you are just tired, because it is the cycle of the body to rest and recuperate. So women that have the menstrual cycle, they have a monthly cycle as well as a year cycle and whatever cycle there is more. So it is about tuning into the cycle and embracing that cycle that we have, or days and weeks where we need to rest, to not do anything, to reevaluate, to reflect upon what happened, and then move forward again. And even if maybe you don't consider yourself a woman and you are a man or genderless, everyone's welcome here. You also have cycle. If it's not menstrual cycle that you can physically see and feel, but you also have a cycle that you go through periods of times when you need to rest more, recuperate, reevaluate, reflect upon things that happen, so that you can, when you feel the energy coming up again, where you feel more motivated, when you feel more like, oh, I can now start working on things because now I am not feeling constantly tired. It's when you have enough energy to do those things. So we have a winter phase, or spring phase, or summer, and autumn, even if it is not coherent with the seasons where you live. Like I, for example, I had phases where I was in winter phase during spring and summer, where I just needed to rest. Sometimes you go hand in hand with the seasons of the place you are living, and sometimes you don't. Like, for example, we are in autumn and going towards winter. It's where the plants and the animals mostly disappear and go to sleep. And I'm currently not in the winter phase. I am highly active. I have plans to do. I have things that I want to do, and I'm going to summer. I'm going to Brazil, where summer is there, so I will have my vitamin D. I'm not going to be vitamin D deficient, so also vitamin D deficiency can cause exhaustion, or if you don't have enough iron. So always check with your doctor if you are not deficient in anything, if you are constantly tired. So yeah, that's one reason. But if it's not, if your blood tests are all good, then it's probably because it's an energetic winter phase. So at the back of the deck we have the Sun. Joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, play. Yeah, there is going to be joy. There is going to be the life force coming back to you. The enjoying the moment, being successful in what you are doing, when you are totally vital and fit and want to play and are playful. The times will come. It's just probably not now. Probably now you are more in the winter phase, and that should be honored too. Let me drink the water. So then we also have open. Say yes, expand through the extremes, trust life. I'm going to read that one out of the guidebook because it's one of the few cards that I don't get often, so I cannot really memorize the meanings. Open. This is probably one of the biggest challenges of life, keeping your heart open through the extremes. No one is immune to the highs and lows of the human experience. From the ecstasy to the agony, the joy to the grief, the love to the loss. We can't bypass the difficult part of being human if you want to truly experience the bliss. And if you close your heart off to the grief, you won't be able to fully experience the joy. The rose teaches us this season after season. She knows that if she doesn't surrender to each of the seasons, come summer, she won't be able to bloom. Birth teaches us this too. The safer the mother feels, the more she can open. Living and dying with your heart open is truly a courageous act, as a life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as well as great love, triumphs, and adventures. When we are going through difficult times, when we most want to separate, the healing is often found in connection, not separation. When we close off our heart and shut down because the pain is too much, we often find ourselves more separate than before. The rose shows us how to open to the world no matter what the day brings. This card is here to encourage you to say yes to life, to expand through the extremes, and to put your 2 feet wholly and completely in. Then something you can meditate upon, make a journal entry, is to find the answer for the question on how can you say yes to life. Yeah. Then we have the Wild Rose. Do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness, untamed. This is a card about just get wild. Just be yourself. Do it how you want to do it. Don't let anyone say how you should do certain things. Of course, you can take in advice and so on, but if it is like your core belief, your innermost self, if your innermost self can't say yes to it, then just don't do it. Just take in the advice, thank the person for the advice, and do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness. We are all different from each other, as well as the flowers are different from each and every. Even the flowers of the rose, if it's from the same rose bush, they don't look the same. They just are equally beautiful in their own unique ways. If they have more petals or less petals, they just do what they do. They just be rose. they are just a rose that it's there showing her beauty to everyone. And so you too, we all need to embrace our own unique way of being, our unique taste, our unique way of doing things, and just to let loose, to be untamed in a sense. Because there are wild roses that are untamed. They do what they do. They don't say, oh my god, I have an odd number of petals and it should have been an even number of petals. I'm not a good rose now. No, the rose is, oh, I have an odd number of petals. Nice. Cool. I'm different from the other roses that may have that are around with an even number of petals. Who knows? Just an example. So do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness and be untamed. Be the wild, wild west. Whatever. Why? I don't know why, but yeah. The grandmothers. Remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. Oh, I'm going to read that one of the guidebook because that's beautiful. That's a beautiful card. The grandmothers. The grandmothers here. The rose was here long before you and me, and long before humanity itself. She holds within her the remembrance of civilizations past, roots that reach back for millions of years and hold the codes of creation. They carry with them the songs of the ancient grandmothers of Earth. Can you hear their song? When this card appears in a spread, it's an invitation to reach all the way back, to go forward, to reach your roots deep, to soar high. The ancient grandmothers are calling you for you to remember the wisdom of your ancestry, long before colonialism severed so much that's sacred, before the rise and fall of empires and entire civilizations, all the way back to the origins of humanity. They're calling you to play your part in this time of healing, to heal and integrate what you've inherited in your ancestral line. It's not personal. These are changing, healing times that we came here for, to reconnect and reach all the way back to the original mother, and to see our role as the ancestors of those who are yet to come, to remain grounded and rooted in your life, so that no matter how rocky things get, you always know that you are home. Then we have here rose transmission. Another way of saying affirmations, you could say, is, if you want to say them out loud or whisper it, is, I reach my my roots all the way back to go forward. I call upon the sacred strength and support of my ancestors who did not forget to be with me now. I acknowledge the difficulties and what's coming up to be healed, and I do so for all who are yet to come. So maybe you are being called to heal some things from your ancestral lines, so that the generations to come don't have to do that. Then we have the rose thread. Inner car, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. Yeah, to listen to your soul and do what your soul wants is a form of living your life courageously, because most of the time you don't know what is going to happen next. You just know what you need to do, but you don't know how and when you get there and what is in store for you. There is a need to trust and just be courageous in jumping into the unknown. And the way of the mystic, as how Rebecca Campbell explains, is experience things for yourself. Diving deep into the things that interest you and are passionate about, and learn more deeply about it. Learning more about it, because it's like there is this whole iceberg, and we start from the tip of the iceberg up on the surface, but there is a whole big chunk of ice underneath the water that we don't see. And this is also what happens in life. There is still so much to uncover, and the way of the mystic is just diving deep into the water and getting to know slowly, things by things, and going deeper and deeper, but experiencing those things for yourself. It's not only theory based where you read those things up. No, you do it yourself, you feel it yourself, you experience it yourself, so that you can talk about from experience and not just from, yeah, I hear that it should be like this and that. To listen to the inner call that your soul is giving. Then you also have We Are Nature, becoming ground and embodiment, living in connection. This card talks all about that we are nature, that we don't have to go to nature to ground ourselves, that wherever we are, we can ground ourselves. For example, I don't go often outside, and I don't often touch grass, and don't walk barefoot on the grass. But I can connect to nature and ground myself just by visualizing myself sitting here and visualizing roots coming out of my feet, going down, down, down from the apartment into the earth, and down, 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 segment-wise of what it is. Even if I'm not outside, I still can ground myself, because I am part of nature, and nature is me. So I can grab myself. Of course, this is also a card of spending more time in nature to be able to be our most natural self. And to live in connection, to know that we are one with nature. Nature is one of us in a way that we are connected to the trees and the plants and the animals, and other human beings, and that we are not separate from it. And that also sometimes we hear our soul and our guidance better when we are in nature, because our connection is then stronger, to listen to what nature has to tell us. Then we have the wastelands, sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. This is all about whatever you are doing right now. It may not be sustainable for you on a physical, on an emotional, on a mental, or spiritual way. So you need to slow down and tend to yourself, to fill up your cup with different things, with movement, with hydration, with good food, with enough rest, things that make you happy, things that really bring you back to life. Self-care, one example. What makes me come back to life is making YouTube videos. For example, I could not film your group yesterday nor the day before because I just felt miserable. On a Thursday when I wanted to film, I was so tired, and afterwards I got a headache. Yesterday I was out at the time when I normally film my videos, and also I had a headache the whole day, so it was not good. Today I am now tired because I was outside. As an empath, it makes me tired being around other humans, even though I cleansed myself. But and also I had a lot of food. I had a lot of lunch, so I'm tired because I am also digesting. But today I had no headache, so that's why I'm filming now. But I had to take my time and slow down as well, even though I wanted to finish this video sooner, so that I could tackle the next one, so that I have enough material for when I'm in Brazil, because I'm not sure if I'm able to film videos there and upload them, because I'm not able to take all my decks with me, so I have to just pick 3 decks. I'm probably going to take 2 tarot decks with me and 1 oracle deck. So I cannot really do much with only that. So yeah. If I'm not able to film enough footage for that's okay. I started TikTok. I figured out how it functions. The first things that I've uploaded now are more of parts of my videos that I up on my channel already, so that people get to know what I'm doing on YouTube, so that people come on YouTube from there. And then when I'm in Brazil, I'm going to do other things there and talk about shit. And yeah, if you want to follow me there, because I'm not sure if I'm able to upload things on YouTube while I'm in Brazil, then yeah, it's where I'm going to be most active, because Instagram is I haven't found the best way to do things there yet. But yeah, I will probably be on Instagram and TikTok if I don't have enough footage for YouTube, so that you can get your messages from there, even if it's a little bit shorter than normal and not the same as normally. Who knows what will come up. So yeah. Then the sacred waters: nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. So you have 2 cards that say that you need to nourish yourself, to replenish, to take care of your health, to rest and do self-care. As in here, you need to slow down, to be a bit more sustainable with yourself, because you are only one person and you can only do so much. So you know, your higher self is telling you, slow down, take it easy. Then you also have the mystic rose: compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. I'm going to read that one out of the guide, because this card just confuses me a lot. Mystic rose. The rose was a symbol of the goddess of old, so it's no wonder that when Christianity absorbed large parts of the indigenous Celtic traditions in Europe, the mother goddess, Mother Mary, became associated with the rose. Perhaps the reason Mary is so beloved is because she was the only mother goddess who could be worshipped safely, and as such carries with her the devotion and yearning of all those who longed to worship the goddess in a feminine form. Mary's connection with the rose is seen in some of her titles, including Rosa Mystica, the mystic rose, and the rose without thorns. Like those of the pagan goddesses before her, the processions that honored Mary involved walking on rose petals. The church altered the stories of goddesses past, including those that featured roses such as Aphrodite turning the white rose red with her blood, putting Mary in the goddess' place. Churches were erected all over Europe and beyond, in many cases on the site of Celtic temples and places of goddess worship. Many had beautiful rose windows in the west, the direction of the feminine, in dedication to Mary, Mother of the Rose. This is a card of compassion, devotion, and grace. It encourages us to soften toward humanity and to endeavor to see the world and even those who have hurt us with understanding, an open heart, and deeper humility. To see that all we carry hurt and are to see that we all carry hurt and are wounded. We have all experienced suffering. Mother Mary is inviting you to open your heart to humanity when you most want to close. The question here for your soul inquiry is, how are you being called to show compassion today? And it's interesting that you got the Gentle Heart Tarot, that is rose colored, and as the name says, it is a gentle card. And you also got a card that talks about compassion. It's kind of nice. I've cozy feeling that I get. So now to this deck that I'm going to use now. You can pause the video, of course, if you want to, but think of 3 questions you want your higher self to answer. And take your time in selecting those 3 questions. Of course, if you have them already, you can continue watching, but if you don't, pause the video now. While I am shuffling for this, do know that take the answer with a grain of salt. This is a collective reading, so there are multiple of you, and the cards that the higher self is going to pick up is for the collective, so the majority. So if you feel your intuition telling you a different answer, and now you have to pay attention, your intuition is a whisper and not a loud chatter. So don't mistake it for if you don't like the answer, this is not for me, my intuition is telling me no, that this is not the message for me. That's your ego. Sorry to say this, but that's your ego. Sometimes the answer that you get from your higher self and your spiritual team, you may not like them, but you needed to hear it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, so take this with a grain of salt, the answers, and listen to your own individual intuition to really get clear answers, and not from this. This may be helping for the majority and for those that already know the answer, because most of the time the people that watch this have already a good intuition by and on themselves. So listen to that, take it with a grain of salt. Okay, so please, higher self of pile number 3, can you answer the first question of pile number 3? Higher self, please answer of pile number 3, please answer the first question. Higher self of pile number 3, please answer the first question of pile number 3. Please answer the first question. The first question is unlikely. The answer is unlikely. Please, higher self of pile number 3, answer the second question of pile number 3. Please, higher. So we had 2. Since they didn't flip out, I'm going to shuffle the third one. I did that for pile 1 and 2, but unlikely just flipped over already, so I could not hide. So please, higher self of pile number 3, please answer the third question of pile number 3. Higher self of pile 3, please answer their third question. Please answer the third question of pile number 3. Higher self of pile number 3. Please answer. There we have it. Also 2. So the answer to the second question is, oops, take action and yes. So you have a goal for the second question, pile 3. You can take action now on whatever you asked. And then for the third question, you have there's something better and romance. I would say if you asked about someone, then looks like there is someone better for you instead of the person that you've asked about concerning your love life. So there's something better and romance. So there may be someone better suited for you in terms of romance than the person that you asked about. As hot as it is, sometimes it's like that. But don't let it discourage you, because there is something better out there, much better than the person that you know right now. And you may even not believe it, but there is always something better. There is more to. If you want a slice of a cake, no, don't just go for the slice. Go for the whole cake. that's probably like the person you've asked about is just a slice of a cake, but there's a whole cake waiting for you outside. Outside of that. Sorry. So pile number 3, this is everything that I have for you. I hope that you could help a little bit. I wish you all the best. Thank you for sticking with me till the end, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye!